Alright, today we're doing another video on handling some of my venomous snakes, cleaning their cages out and going to feed them. The first one I made, I made a videotape and I tagged it Keeping It Real, and talking about how I've seen people, they make big productions about moving venomous snakes and handling them, and to move them from here to here. I watched one guy have the snake running all over the floor and he had to catch it, and it was a 20-minute video watching him move a snake from cobra from one container to another, which is totally ridiculous. I got a lot of slack because I like to use my Hex Armor gloves. A lot of people, oh, you can't worry, you can't say that these are 100% bite proof, and if you've listened to my videos, I've never said they were 100% bite proof. These gloves are a secondary protection. One of the things though that you'll notice when I handle the cobras is that I've only had actually one cobra that bit down on the glove one time. The cobras generally don't bite at the glove. I'm not going to free handle them, but the gloves are a secondary protection and they work much better than tailing the snake. And as you watch, as I move them back and forth, I do know my cobras, I do understand them, I know their behaviors, so what I'm doing is not as dangerous as it appears. If you have a lot of experience with cobras, you would know this. If you watch a lot of the other videos on people handling cobras, they do it freehand, they do it without using any type of gloves and stuff. Then that I'm not doing. Again, I don't have a death wish, as I tell people. But I want to do it my way safely. The only time I've ever been bit by a venomous snake was at the very first part of my career, when I actually handled a rattlesnake in the manner that was supposedly acceptable to the trade. And if I would have been wearing my gloves at that time, I would have never been bitten. So if you like what I do, that's fine. If you don't like how I handle them, that's fine too. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. It's just that I want to show a lot of people how to safely handle them. And again, basically just keeping it real. I'm not trying to make a major production of moving this cobra here, which is my Monocled cobra, over here into a temporary enclosure while I clean out his tank and then feed him. So right now he looks like he's quite agitated, which he basically is, because he's always that way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open this up. Of course he's going to flare up. It's right here. Use the stick, push him back a little bit with the stick. Grab him here. You notice there that he did try to bite me when I grabbed him. And we're just going to pick him up, move him over. He's all flared down now. He's not aggravated. We're going to move him right up here into the thing. Put the lid on. Very simple. Now I'm going to cut the video here because you don't need to watch me clean out the tank. I'm sure you all know how to do that. But then I'll come back on and I'll show you how I move him back over, and I'll give him his mouse. Okay, now we're going to put him back into his enclosure here. So what I do is I put the lid on, leave it about halfway open. Now when I open these lids, get my snake hook here. When I open the lids here, I always open the lid toward me, so it's acting as a shield, and then I can also use his hand as a shield if he decides to come up at me. Okay, right now he's down there, he's not huffing and puffing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just hold my hand so he can't come up and bite my stomach. Move him up slowly, reach in, pick him up by center body, move the other hand up toward the front here, and as you can see, he's all calm and docile. And we're going to just slide him right back down into his enclosure here. Slide the lid over just a little bit. Now I'm going to take off one glove, take my hemostats, and go over here to my stinky little container. Find myself a nice mouse for him. Again, leaving one glove on in case he tries to sneak out. I can reach down in here, get his attention, and hopefully he'll take that from me. But if not, if he doesn't grab it from me, I can always, oh, there he tried to, and there he goes. Give it a little tug like it's alive, and he's all set. And he'll eat that up. last thing we do is make sure we put the padlock back on here. And we're all done with this guy. Okay, the next one we're going to get to right now is my spitting cobra, my black and white. Very aggressive cobra. Hisses a lot. Does spit quite often, but will only spit toward the eyes. I mean, I wear regular glasses, plus I have the brim of the cap. I don't look at the cobra's face directly when I take them out. I do have a face shield, which I probably should wear, but I don't most of the time. I'm only going to, again, move from here to here. I'm not going to look directly at the snake's face, so the snake, the majority of the time, is not going to want to try to attack me. Take the screen lid off. The thing here is that I have to remove, right now, the hide that he's in. I'm going to get a little huffy and puffy. So as I pick up the hide, you hear him hissing. I got this hand ready to shield him, okay, in case he decides to try to come up and out while I do this. Not taking my eyes off of him here. He's staying down low, which is good. Now, when I deal with cobras, they're already down low. I put the snake stick in, and I will go toward the top of the head to keep them lower. I'm going to hook, again, toward the front of the body. Here, reach in, grab a hold of that, release the stick, use the other hand to grab up toward the hood. Again, I'm not going to look at him, and slowly drop him in here. As you can see, he did it quite calmly without any major issues. Didn't try to bite the glove or anything. And again, going to cut you off, clean the tank, and show you up as we feed him out. And we're back. Same setup as before. Got the cage all cleaned out. I got fresh water, got the lid half on. Going to put on my gloves here and do the exact same thing with the spitter. Okay, we're going to open this up. We're going to bring the lid toward us. Have one hand all ready for a shield in case we need it. Reach in very slowly. And we're going to hook the snake here. As she comes up, there she comes up and out for us. Very beautiful. We just grab her just like this, making sure we have control toward the front of the body like that. Slide her right in here. And again, you see how smooth and easy that was. There was no fighting, no huffing, no puffing. And the same procedure, we're going to grab our 2-foot-long tongs, our hemostats actually, and got one glove on in case she wants to come up and out. This girl here sometimes, or male, normally doesn't take the mouse from me, but we'll give it a try. Normally she'll bite at it. Oh, she took it that time. Normally she bites at it and then I set it down there and she'll come back and she'll eat it a little bit later. Yep, she left it go. That's typical for her. And she'll eat that later on. Put the lock on and we're ready to get the next snake out. Okay, we deal with cobras. Cobras usually flare up, they hood up. They want to come up and out at you. So we have to keep them down a little bit. Now we're going to be dealing with some rattlesnakes though. This is one of my western albino rattlesnakes. Really awesome snakes. Rattlesnakes, so as they stay coiled up normally. Once you aggravate them, they'll start moving around really quick, but at first you're going to deal with them in a coiled position. Normally they will usually take 1 or 2 strikes if they tend to be a little on the aggressive side. So again, wearing the gloves is an excellent thing. So what we're going to do here is, got him right in the corner here. Actually his cage almost doesn't need to be cleaned today, but I'm going to take him out of here anyway, just to show you since I went through all this trouble. Okay, now that I've moved his hide, he's acknowledged that he's here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach in here and I'm going to hook him. Now when I hook him, he's probably going to run off the stick because that's what they do. So I'm going to do the traditional method, which I don't really care for, but that's tailing him. But I'm wearing the gloves, and by tailing him, I'll move him over this way. Now you see when I tail him though, my hand's up here. He could strike out my hand and bite me very easily if I didn't have the gloves on. So I don't think tailing is like one of the greatest methods in the world to handling a snake without the gloves. It's definitely, you know, the way it's been done for years and years. But again, I don't necessarily think it's one of the safest ways to do it. And I think, and I'm going to show you when I put him back my way of doing it, which I think is a little bit safer. Of course, if you don't own gloves, you're not going to be able to do it this way. Give him some fresh water. His tank's already clean, so we're good there. Again, just slide his lid back on, approximately halfway. And now I'm going to show you how we put him back in there my way. Same method. Lid comes off towards you like a shield. Always know where the snake is, where he's looking at. He's right here, he's coiled up, he's looking directly at me. I'm going to hook the front part of his body, then I'm going to reach down, grab him about mid-body, slide this other hand right in like that. So now I have control over the front of his body much better than when he's being with the hook. And I simply take him and I slide him down in here. The other things the gloves do is they hide your heat signature. He's a pit viper, so he'll pick up on my heat. So the gloves hide that heat signature from him as well. That's one other nice purpose of them. And we're going to grab the hemostats, grab his mouse. And again, same deal, open it up just a little bit and see if he'll grab it from us. And he's another one. Sometimes he'll take it, sometimes he makes me set it down. What are we going to do today? There he goes. So sweet and gentle. See that? He took it up the hemostats. Also dropped it though because moving around like I just did. But he will grab that later. And what we're going to do is just pop this lock back on, always making sure everybody's locked up before we put them back. And we'll get on to our next snake. Alright, the last one we got today is my timber rattlesnake. She can be a little aggressive sometimes, but as you'll see, hopefully, we're just going to move her in here. Take the lid off all the way. Again, my hides and stuff, we have drilled 2 holes in the top so I can take my hemostats. Just lift the hides right off of them. And she's right there looking. Again, always keep an eye on them so they don't go anywhere. She's buzzing at me. She's moving a little bit, showing me that she wants to strike at me. And what we're going to do here, the same thing. We're going to reach down in there, we're going to hook her. And she's probably going to take off, yep, just like that. So we're going to grab her tail. And the same method, pull her up. We'll get up toward the front of her head here. So now I got good control over her. I'm not trying to bite at me. As you can see, she's a lot calmer. We're just going to set her right down in here and put the lid on. And she was moved nice and safely, no hard thing. The thing is, again, I'm not trying to do anything that's dangerous. When I handle them the way that the industry says you should handle the snakes and stuff like that, I think it's a lot more dangerous than the way I do it. I feel a lot more safer handling the snakes this way. I go over to a lot of other experienced handlers who don't own gloves like these, and I'm not endorsing these gloves. I mean, if you want to buy them, great. If you don't want to use them, that's fine too. And I'm not endorsing anybody handling venomous snakes the way I do. But I'll go over there to sometimes to purchase some venomous snakes or whatnot, and they'll go to get a snake out. And like my one friend, he had a cobra, the Sufan cobra. He opened up a drawer, which I never keep my snakes in drawers like that. He opened up the drawer, the snake comes up and down, pops, lands on the floor. You know, he's trying to grab it. So I brought my gloves over with me and I had my hook and I said, here, let me get it. So I just hook the snake up, I take my gloves, I pick it up, I slide my hand under it just like I always do. I move it over, I put it in the container, close it up. And he was just totally amazed. He's like, wow, you know, that was amazing. Okay, how that snake reacted to you. That's because I'm not chasing the snake around. I'm not making a big issue about it. It's like I say in the videos, keep it real, okay? You just deal with the snakes. You deal calmly, you respect the fact that they can kill you, but you also understand the different kinds of snakes, how they react, how they defend themselves. And if you don't put stress on them and you don't threaten them, normally they're not going to try to attack you, okay? And like I said, cobras are probably one of the biggest bluffers there are. They're not looking to bite you. They're looking just to get you to leave them go. Once you first get them out of their enclosure, normally they flare down and they're just trying to get rid of you. All right? And even with the rattlesnakes here, you can see that once you get them up out of their enclosure, they tend to be a lot more docile. I don't like tailing using the stick. I like tailing using my second hand is the front part of the stick, because when I have that, I can close my hand around that snake and I can keep that snake from jumping off. I mean, many times if you're tailing, they'll jump off the stick and you got to dangle them and you got to rehook them and stuff like that. And if that's the way you want to do it, that's fine. But again, taking 20 minutes to put a cobra from one enclosure to another on the one video I watched was totally unjustified. It made the cobra look like it was aggressive. It was just uncalled for, you know. So let's just keep things simple and easy. If you don't like the way I handle the snakes, that's fine. Like I said, I'm not trying to endorse anything, the gloves or any other way. I'm just trying to show you how I do it, and like hopefully if you ever do want to learn how to handle venomous snakes, you won't try to do it on your own. You'll go to somebody who is a mentor, somebody who does it and has done it for a long time, and try to learn from them, basically. I mean, I've been bad-mouthed many times on my handling techniques. I've been compared to other guys, and when I look up their records of handling, I find out that they've been bit 2 or 3 times. I find out that they've had people who worked with them bitten a couple times. I've been bit 1 time early in my career handling them the traditional way. I've never had anybody ever who works with me ever been bitten by a snake. My safety record basically speaks for itself. And just because people who probably are saying stuff about me, you know, comments on my videos and stuff, they probably have never even handled a venomous snake in their entire life. Okay, so if you like my video, you like what I do, you like how I do it, let me know by, you know, clicking the like button. So that I kind of look at the like buttons and see, okay, hey, people like this video, they like what they're seeing, basically. And if you have a comment, you want to make a comment, that's fine too. Leave me a comment. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and you know, hopefully you'll subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit then when I make another video.